I cannot imagine that's a coincidence. I've got to imagine that comes up somehow. I will not surrender on my Mark Thomas. Right, so did I search tattoo? Oh, there's nothing. Natives. Native? Nope. Jesse, did we just search for Jesse? Oh, nothing on there. Don Simpson. Funeral. Okay, nothing where I can mark all those off my search. Fantastic. Right, back onto roof. Circles glow. Really? That's what it's. Nah, there we go.
My house is just down the road enough away from my shop.
Where's my roof page?
Very
Here we
convenient.
go.
You must know it.
This is the Circles Glow?
Yes, that's my shop. Another thing I like about our little town. Everyone knows everyone. Some more than others. I saw the kids playing a game in the yard a few days ago when I was coming home. Drinking what looked like inebriates. They were in red cups, so I couldn't tell exactly. Friendly. I said good day to them as I walked by. I wish they had used that energy to do some yard work or clean up the yard. Disgraceful state, that house.
Sorry, were these the
She
victims
saw the
you saw a
victim,
few days
yeah.
ago?
Yes, Alana was with them.
About how many days would you say that was?
About a week ago, last weekend.
Okay, you said kids. Just making sure we're on the same page here and establishing a timeline.
When you said that some people know other people in the neighborhood more than others, what do you mean by that?
I see a lot of people come and go, going about their busy lives, commingling. We're not that old-fashioned out here.
Well, anything we should know about? Anything that would worry us?
No, nothing to concern yourselves about.
She seems so. She's a suspicious one, isn't she? God, we're only a quarter way through roof. Jesus.
Yes, my store is located near the house with the teenagers.
Yeah.
Young adults. They got intrigued by my humble store, just like anyone else who visits the town. They asked me to give them the manuscripts with ancient legends and myths of the area, saying they needed it for their schoolwork. Of course, I helped them. They're on the rack near the door.
Sold papers, manuscripts with myths, legends of area to victims is near murder house, as it shall always be known.
Mass-produced reprints I had printed specially. They looked like the usual tourist types, after all.
She looks full on evil there, doesn't she? Bloody hell, Ruth. Right, okay. It's interesting. I want to search for like manuscripts as well, and myth and legend and 5,000 other bloody things. How is there still? We're not even halfway through these videos. Are we even a third? Wait, if there's 5 circles total and we're 1.5... No, we're not even a third. No, about a third. Yeah, we've been stuck on these two characters. We went from Colton to Ruth really quickly, and then we've kind of like stuck at Ruth for a long time. I want to search for homeless now that we've got Ruth unlocked. Yeah, there we go. Talk to me about the homeless, Ruth.
The face looked, well, rather pale.
Oh, was this the face in the window?
Sad looking, perhaps. Pretty. Possibly young.
No?
It was only for a second.
Yes.
I was far away, though, and didn't get a good look. Didn't want to stare and be rude.
Did they see you?
I think so. Actually,
This is...
far away, though. Looking, perhaps.
Okay, this is the face in the window. Where did I write that down? Sees face in window. Pale. Sad.
Pretty. Possibly young. It was only for a second. I was far away, though, and didn't get a good look. Didn't want to stare and be rude.
Did they see you?
I think so. Actually, no, I'm not sure. They didn't move much.
And which window was this?
It was upstairs. The front bedroom, I think.
Oh, it was female then? Or a male?
Oh, well, you can never tell for sure these days. Female, I think. Fair in their complexion. Wait. No. Perhaps a male.
Oh, that's not helpful, Ruth.
Alright, so anything else about them that we should know? How about their hair color? Their hair length? Were they wearing anything that you remember?
I didn't see. Don't think they were wearing anything in particular out of the ordinary. Long hair, yes.
Long hair.
Not sure what color. What was odd was that they weren't moving, rather stagnant. A long gaze. Then, that boy in the purple wool hat and the black shirt, he walked around to the side. Now, he looked homeless, confused. When I looked back up to the window, that face was gone.
That is very suspicious. Very suspicious. Very suspicious. Sounds like they were like drugged up or something, and then yeah, whoever was doing it pulled them away from the window or something like that. But no, because they had to have been dead for hours. That's the problem. All the bodies were dead for hours by that point. I already searched for tattoo. They said, the autopsy said, all of them, including Heather, who wasn't even dead, had been in the room since 4 AM at the latest, right? So it can't have been... You know, if you don't like it, Puto, leave, honestly. Like, I'm not going to accept that kind of nonsense in my chat, thanks. So... what was I saying? Yeah. I've already forgotten. Oh, God damn it. I'm lost. Yeah, so the autopsy coroner, whatever, said 4 AM at the latest, maybe a little bit later, they said, was when the bodies were there. I don't know. I think it was someone else. Maybe. I mean, maybe it was a frame job and someone drugged up Caleb and whoever this girl is, put them in the house and, you know, try to screw them up. Try to get them in trouble instead. Yeah, I know, but it's not. It's just. It's just pointless. You've already expressed your opinion. I've got it. We don't need it. It's needless pessimism. Alright, let's take a look at Ascension Point. No, nothing on that. Ascension Point is definitely not as important as Dangling Rock. Okay, can mark that off. Down to 6 more on my search list. The graveyard I want to check out. She mentioned the graveyard was full. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, I don't know why there's such a large graveyard at Fort Court.
I think you do.
Us civilians aren't privileged to such information. Why don't you go ask the government? I'm sure that will be quite fruitful.
Right.
That was bloody helpful. Well, I mean, we found out it's a large graveyard. Where's my thing on? Is Fort Cordon Ascension Point? I can't remember. I think so. Yeah. What was the other name for Dangling Rock? I really should have written those down. And I forgot. Okay. Baphomet. Ah, oh, come on. This is the stuff I was excited about. Come on. Ah! Rubbish. Come on. Come on. Come on. Hey, there we go. Got there eventually.
We have something we need to call on your expertise for.
Oh.
It's this.
What is it?
I'm no mind reader. Help me out. You're not.
I'm here with your background.
Perhaps I used the wrong choice of words. I've not developed the ability to see through physical objects in layers. Would you mind telling me what it is I meant to be sharing my expertise on?
Where is it?
It's a tooth.
It's a tooth!
That is a tooth.
A big one.
Right. Well, what's it doing here?
We found it at the crime scene. The victim's house.
Oh.
It was in the wall.
Oh.
In the wall?
Oh.
Yes.
Bear with me. Where's my crime scene page? Tooth. Tooth is going on the search list. Tooth. The tooth will set you free. Where's my crime scene page? There it is. Large tooth found in wall. Interesting.
Well, what was it doing there?
We thought you might know.
Because she's spooky. And they assume it's something ritualistic.
Oh, I see. Because of my shop.
Yeah, I get it. I'm
Your
with you.
kind never liked my shop, did you, Michael? Well, if you must know what you're looking at is likely related to folk magic.
I need a tooth section.
From the subtropics.
Are we talking like voodoo stuff going on here? Okay, tooth. I'm gonna have a tooth section. Found in wall of murder house. Large. Folk. Magic. Related. Bloody hell. Talismanic in nature. From sub. Nice spell sub. Tropics. There we go. Yeah.
Assume talismanic in nature. But for what kind of spell, it's hard to guess. You could enchant or bind an incantation to someone. It could be a number of things.
So it was personal. Someone at the house wanted to target someone.
Quite possibly. If it were used offensively, belonging to one of the deceased, well, it doesn't get much more personal than a part of someone's head.
Well, all of the deceased victims had intact teeth, though. Or enough of them that we found, I think. Could it be offensive if it wasn't from a victim?
Sure. Like an attraction spell.
A love charm.
A tooth combined with an object of the person.
Love spell. Like they were trying to... I mean, you know what kids are like, right? You go, you get drunk, you whip out the Ouija board, you do some spells, you look for ghosts, all that kind of nonsense, right? I mean, maybe why Alana's parents left the house in the first place is because there were more murders. Nobody we know has missing teeth, I believe. Not that I've seen, or we'll keep an eye on it going forward.
Are you able to somehow tell who the tooth belongs to?
Oh, you mean you believe in my abilities? Nice, thank you, Michael. But you shouldn't have. I'm not able to track down a missing tooth in the spirit world like some ghostly private eye DDS. No. Unless you know of someone missing a molar, I'd say we won't know whose it is. What I would assume, given the circumstances, it's that it's not important whose tooth it is, but more what they wanted to do with it. Hair is much more easy to use for those types of spells needing a piece of someone.
Give us some examples. What do people you know get up to with human teeth in combination with something like hair?
Well, like I said, it could be used for a variety of things. The wall was under the room.
Yes.
How can a wall be under the room?
It helps.
Are these good or evil spells?
Can be both. For example, you could use it to attract someone, or on the other hand, to push them away. But such black and white lines, good and evil, don't exist in my community. Teeth are more often used as protective charms, defensive in nature. But it's hard to say anything definite, although likely a powerful spell.
So I don't think the tooth is a red herring. I don't think who the tooth belongs to is necessarily that important. What I think is important though is who put it there in the first place. And why. Is it the kids? I think the kids are messing around with... No, because the window wasn't below the room. The window was above the room. Right, I'm going to bring up... I wanted to do this before. I'm going to bring up my evidence of the house. I wrote this down. Let me find it. But anyways, the murders took place at the back of the house on the bottom floor. So you can't... How do you go below the room? Which is why I'm confused. Bear with me. What did I write down about the face? Roof's page. Upstairs front bedroom. So I'm assuming the face was in this window here. But the face was upstairs and the murders were downstairs. I don't think the tooth and the face are connected. I think it was just, I think they just misspoke, honestly. No, I don't know. I mean, no, because if there'd been a previous murder, they'd have checked the room already, right? They'd have looked around. We're hearing so much stuff about people coming down with false prophets. We know already that the kids went to Ruth's shop and bought stuff about local myths and legends, and they were researching, like, the tales of the area and all this stuff. I think the logical assumption really is that the kids, well, the victims, had the tooth. And we're planning to do something with it. Nothing to want to search. God, there's more. There's loads now. Well, yeah, that's where the face was. And then the bodies were at the back of this house. You can't see it from here. So I want to search for the stuff that the kids were trying to buy from her shop. So she mentioned manuscripts. Myths. Legends. No, that's the same one. What about like demon? I'm just spitballing now. Let's go back to my list. Okay, so I already searched for Mark Thomas. Let me just search for tooth. No. Charm. Voodoo. No one's gonna mention voodoo. Oh, love spell. And the last one, actually literally the last one on my search list at this point, is the one from earlier, Orlando Jackson. Nah, damn it. I thought it was going to be important. I'm a little disappointed. I was excited about that one. I've been building up to that for ages. That was going to be my big finale. Yeah, go on, chuck me your list. Let's see what other people have come up with. You should remove them when I search for them. I've searched for quite a few of these already. Let's go through them quickly. I don't think supernatural is kind of... Well, nobody's going to say the word supernatural, I don't think, no. got a new one for Colton.
Yes, I've known him a long time. Not personally, per se. But he's known here around town. People are wary of him, but that serves the purpose that's needed.
People are wary of him.
He's a good man. I was a cadet with him when he started.
Ah, yes, nearby. Funny how lifelong connections are formed at that stage.
And how do you know that?
I'm not sure where I gained that knowledge. From my past in town or somewhere else.
You know you're under oath.
And I'm telling the truth. But yes, he has a purpose. Dissuasion and such. I support his efforts, no doubt. There are a lot of ways to get people to task, however.
You prefer to cast a spell on them, don't you, love? I think I did this one as well. I did, yeah.
Would you describe yourself as religious?
I spent a lot of hours inside a church growing up.
Not anymore?
Not anymore. Don't go to church anymore.
Do you miss it?
Not a bit.
Interesting. He's very devoutly not religious anymore.
So many deities we have on our...
And she's gone in a very different direction.
crowded and confusing. Which one is the real one? That question would be a death sentence in some parts of the world. Why is it a competition anyway? Especially when we all know who the real ones are. Anyway, Michael. At least, that's the line that Force draws.
Okay, that's a rather interesting little thing there. Colby! Nah. Oh, hello. Okay, let's go.
Now, we have a couple of photos that we want to show you. They're of different men from the area. And would you be able to circle the photo of the man that you think you saw near the house?
I want to see it.
Okay. All right. Thanks. That's really, really helpful. Now, are you sure that this is the one? And you've never seen him before?
No, never.
Mm-hmm. Anything else that you can tell us? Had you noticed anything odd at the house before this?
No. It stands empty most of the time. When Craig and his family aren't in town. They live in the city. The neighborhood's changed a lot over the years. People come and go, the renters, the vacationers. But the houses stay the same. The houses have an interesting history. The whole town and area does. It's a shame when out-of-towners don't respect our values.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, Dino. That Caleb said he'd been to the store before. Just emphasizing her hate of out-of-towners. Oh, message. Just a heads up that Ruth positively... Oh, right, okay. Yeah, where are my crime scene photos? Did the O'Shea, though? Does she actually do that? Or is this a ruse? Not necessarily by Captain O'Shea, but maybe those documents were sealed or they were obscured somehow in the past and she doesn't identify Caleb and they recorded her as identifying Caleb positively, but that's not actually what she did, and now coincidentally the files are not accessible anymore. I don't know anymore. I don't know. I'm not convinced.
Did you ever have a young guy named Caleb come to your store or know anyone in town with that name?
No. I don't think so. I get a lot of people in my shop that were very busy.
He likely shares similar interests as yourself.
Does he?
We don't all know each other.
No?
No.
How about a guy named Colby?
No, I don't think so.
No.
No. Should I?
Maybe. Colby shares similar interests? That's the first mention we've had of that. I mean, we know he went to the shop, but... maybe... likes... ghosts. Put that down. It's not Jerry. It's nothing to do with Jerry. Look, Jerry is not relevant. Leave him alone. Poor Jerry's done nothing wrong. Makes such a nice noise. I just want to tappy tappy all day. Oh, shot some in then, I guess. Ah. We've already done that one as well. I've done all these before, right? Yeah. Hitting a little bit of a wall here, folks. I've got nothing left in my search list. I really don't think the smoke thing is a thing. I've got to be honest. I mean, we'd have heard it already, right? On the autopsy. Yeah, I guess. It's not the kind of thing I like searching. It's too... I mean... Who killed them? Damn it, so close! Come on, game, give me a break. Yeah, I searched up Jesse. We got tons of stuff from Jesse earlier. Absolutely tons of stuff from Jesse. That's where the whole thing about... Well, all of that Jesse stuff came from. Yeah. Well, I didn't search up Abraham's, specifically. I did search up Jesse. It's Jesse with an I. I gave it the D. Whoops. I see it here. Look. Yeah. I'm hitting a wall. I literally made the same reference, Robin. I'm afraid. I suppose I could go back through the list of like things we already searched for before Ruth turned up. It's candle and it's burnt material and murder, survivor. What about the... I haven't searched, it must be said, for the other survivors since Ruth came in. Nothing on Greg. Oh, no one cares about Greg. Nothing on Brian. Alan. Alana, everybody talked about. Nothing on Emily. No, I didn't get the impression that Terry... I already searched for Terry since Ruth came in. I didn't get the impression that Terry went to Ruth's house. I think Colton went to Ruth's house alone. I always searched for like Colton and Ruth. Actually hit a wall. Interesting. Alright, let me look at my notes.
Fort Cordon, such a big fort.
Wait.
One of the biggest of its.
Say that again?
Fort Cordon, big fort. One of the biggest of its kind. It was only built relatively recently, as well at the turn. Apparently built to protect the coast. Not sure from whom though at that time. The British, Spanish, Chinamen, Russians. Canadians not sure who they were so afraid of. Do you know?
The Chinamen, apparently.
Do you, Mike?
Now, the official line was that it was for coastal defense. I'm not so sure. We can be so afraid of our own shadows sometimes instead of embracing them. And then, what? It became a facility, a prison.
What?
For children.
What?
Oh, excuse me. A rehabilitation center for troubled youth.
Ah!
17 and under. And a few escaped, never to be heard from again.
What?
All the while, we now know the military never left, and that they kept the cistern underneath drained. Who knows what they were doing down there?
I don't know, but I'd like to know. Ah! Things! So much happening! God bless you, Fort Cordon. Right, there's Fort Cordon, I guess. Messages? What do you want, buddy? Ah! What is this? What is going on? Oh no! Oh no, that's creepy. What's happening? I'm kind of freaked out. What? What is this? Okay, right. I can't copy and paste.
Better than the great public asylums we had to house the mentally troubled, but not by a long feather. And for children, too, essentially. I suppose some are in a rush to be adults. But there were always stories of young people arriving and never to be seen again. Who knows? Likely shuffled out, aged out to prison, but some hopefully to better places. Likely many disappeared in the system. Doesn't take much, I suppose. We can be quite cruel as a society to those mentally unsound or different.
Rehabilitation. Troubled children. That is creepy. Yeah, I can't copy and paste this. Let me go through my little list I've built here. Talk to me about the cistern. Yes! Yes! Here we go. Here we bloody go. Frickin' Colby's back. Talk about cisterns.
You ever been underneath the fort? Fort Cordon?
Underneath?
Yeah. The cistern.
Cistern?
It's a big open enclosed area, usually underground, where they held a lot of water. Back before they had plumbing systems, they could store water that way. At the fort, they made one to hold water in case of fires. I wonder how often it got used.
So you ever been there?
Kinda sounds familiar.
Going to a lot of underground storage tanks?
Okay. So I've been there. A bunch of guys I was with broke in one time. I didn't know they had broken in until after.
Nice. So how did that go?
Alright. We just checked it out. It was dark as hell, so we couldn't see much. The sound in there was weird. It was huge, and we got kind of lost from each other without any lights. I kind of just stumbled around for a while until I found my way out.
Anything else happen?
No. I mean, not really.
Not really.
No.
Come on, Caleb. You're being cryptic again. Your amnesia's returning.
No, it's hard to explain. When you're in a big empty space like that, that's pitch black, your mind starts playing tricks on you. You start hearing things, seeing things. Maybe it was just the people I was with.
What did you see?
Nothing. Just heard strange sounds. And maybe some lights. But it could have been the space. It's got a ton of echo, and maybe the light deflects weird somehow. Part of the fun of going in, I guess.
How long were you separated from the others?
I found the door again in like 30 minutes. Everyone was waiting for me.
You were stumbling around lost for 30 minutes down there?
Yeah. I guess it was longer than I thought.
What did they say when you got out?
They hardly noticed. Some people laughed, I think. Then we all left.
The cistern underground seemed to be an obvious facade when it was built. I mean, come on. It was meant to be filled with water in the case of a fire at the fort, to then put out the fire. It's far too large a space for that. There are tunnels people have found and gone down in all directions, which they claim don't exist. There's a lot of unexplored areas as well. They've carved up the entire point, and I doubt they've actually found anything. At least, the rock next door is still in place. Can't imagine what would happen if it fell over. They dug all those tunnels and built that strange bunker on top. They cut their nose off to spite their face, always going against the grain. The area is really a spiritual and positive place. And they've gone and done that. I don't understand it. I've been down there once. They opened it for a public tour a few years ago, which have, of course, stopped now. Musicians have also come to record there because of the acoustic properties. They seemed fascinated by how it sounds, the large space. I think it's all guys, though, to hide what they're really doing down there. Investigating the site, or who knows what sort of experimentations are going on down there into the area.
Can we talk for a minute, please?
Excuse us.
Whoa. She's doing a little tune again.
Well, we've got some news.
I'm here. Wide awake. Tell me.
We got her. The survivor, she's pulled through. She's being brought down now.
Oh, good.
Yes! There we go! Blimmin' Heather! Blimmin' Heather! Right. Seems like a good time to end things. There's still more that I want to search for with the cistern. Although I'm worried that I'm going to search it and now bloody Heather's going to show up. No, okay, cool. Tell you what, I'm just going to nip in a few of the ones that I had on rehabilitation. No. Bunker. Nope. Tunnels. Right, cool. That's essentially my list done of things that I felt were super high priority. No, I'm good. We're going to end it there. I just want to clean my list up, so I don't have anything that I feel is like... I'll just... Right, give me your list. Come on. I'll pick the best ones. And then we'll end it. Doo-doo. You guys are too obvious. I mean, conspiracy theory? Really? I would be blown away if that came up with something. Same with all this. It just doesn't tie into anything we've heard before. It's too obvious, you know what I mean? There we go. Military was a good one, though. I'll come back to it in a sec. I'm gonna check all of them. I mean, why darkness? Alright, that's Heather. We can't look at that one. That's medication for Heather. Let me do a Heather list. These are the better ones towards the end. Fort Cordon is how we got all this stuff in the first place. Fort Cordon was the big one. I mean, urban exploration. Come on, guys. It's been weird. Tunnels I already did myself. So, military.
What do you think about the rumor that there are experiments going on at the fort?
We've always worked side by side with the military. Although we don't cross paths too often and they usually reach out to us first. I'm not really able to comment much on them.
experiments going on that have something to do with some sort of supernatural thing at the Rock? Come on. You've been seeing too many science fiction movies, Rick.
What about the websites that explain the history about it being a gateway to another world?
That site is the equivalent of a cheap highway.
No. Stop giving me things to search for. Gateway. Another world. Even websites.
You really think people are stepping through an invisible wall to another world up there?
So the implication is there is a portal to another world at the Rock. I don't have a good sense of the geography here. Why if I called it Dogging Rock? What's that say? Oh, dangling. Where's the L? I need to add an L. Possible gateway to... I suspect all the supernatural stuff isn't true, but I also suspect it's the basis for everything that's going on here. So it doesn't have to be real, but it has to be something that would cause people to act and kill in a very real way, essentially, is my current guess.
How many people go missing in town every year? Like, none.
We do have deaths.
People get killed in every city in the U.S. Fact of life.
It is possible that something's going on at that base. Kind of fun to think about it, though, isn't it?
No. But, okay, let's go with it for a second. The military is traveling to other planets and experimenting on aliens here in town.
Yeah.
When was the last time you saw a flying saucer?
Yesterday.
Must have forgotten the last time there was a battle involving humans and little green men.
2 days ago.
Well, what if it's something different?
Yeah. What if, Rick? What if indeed?
Colin is not impressed with Rick's line of questioning here at all. For aliens in as well. And experiments. That should be on the list. Maybe torture. What about if it's like a oh, what's it called? Oh, MK Ultra. That's what I want to look at. MK Ultra. Ah, no.
What do you...
Experiments at the Rock or the cistern below? Oh, I don't know. I'm not so up to date on military happenings. You would probably know more in your position.
MK Ultra, not N.
Hear things.
What sort of things?
Well, you know our town's history. The problems with the settlers and natives, how people hear strange things at the point at night, see lights or what have you. And then, of course, the idea that the area contains some gateway to another place or time. I mean, I suppose it's up to each of us to decide what the real truth is, but facts are facts. And the fact is that the Rock is located directly next to that old fort. We all know what they get up to.
MK Ultra was basically the CIA, as he says, doing illegal experiments on the American population, sometimes without them knowing it. It's like a mind control program, essentially. You get some more information on it. Yeah, the idea was to use drugs and stuff like that. They weakened people to the point they can mind control and get confessions out of them. It's also a really good Muse song, as it happens. Right, we have a lot to go off. I want to look at the map before we go. I really don't have a good sense of where things are, and this map is bloody useless. Ah, right, okay, no, so we can see Fort Cordon's there, and Dangling Rock is there. So Fort... Ah, I was right, so Fort... Okay, no, I'm fine. Everything I've written is correct. Fort Cordon is otherwise known as Ascension's Point. I know, I'm only joking about the MK Ultra stuff, really. It's fun, though. So, Fort Cordon is Ascension Point. Right, okay, we're going to end it here for today, so I'm going to try to summarise everything we've learned today. Which seems impossible. So, okay, right. Where are we in total with the story? So we started off with Caleb, otherwise known as Colby. And he's been drifting around. And he came to town 15 years ago. And went at one point to Fort Cordon. Went down into the cistern. He also went to some parties, blah, blah, blah. The same year Caleb came to town... it's the same year. That was 1997. Caleb came to town before this time, so 15 years ago, Caleb came to town. That very same year, Colton's niece died in a house party fire at the age of 19. Caleb would have been about 21. In terms of the murder itself, there was white sheets everywhere. 3 dismembered bodies or 2? I can't remember. Anyways, several dismembered bodies. One of them, I think it was it Greg, who looks frightened to death. There's white sheets everywhere on the ground, on the furniture. And there is a tooth embedded into the wall. Now, the only witness we have is Ruth, and Ruth was walking her dog, Ken. She walked past the house, and she saw she saw a few things. She saw the front door damaged and open. She saw a face. I'll tell you what, I'll bring up she saw a face in this window up here, and she saw Caleb, or who she identifies as Caleb, walking down probably this side of the house here. She said from the side of the house down to the back of the house, basically. And she said black t-shirt, purple beanie, and she pointed him out of a lineup. And the murders took place somewhere at the back. So there is at least a suggestion that maybe there was multiple killers. However, it's worth noting that Ruth said the face in the window was a young, pretty, long-haired person, probably female, and we're about to meet Heather, who happens to be a long-haired, pretty female. Upstairs, all the lights are on. I don't know, I think Heather's... I'm a little suspicious of Heather, I'm just saying. A little suspicious of Heather. Anyways, all that's going on. Ruth owns a shop nearby where she sells witchy, hippy-dippy stuff. The kids at this house, you know, they came here, they'd been here for a week or something like that. They were partying, they were drinking. At some point, they came by the house and bought a book about local myths and legends. Now, that would include the many weird things that have gone over in the years, including what was something called the Orlando Jackson murders, which I still want to hopefully find something more about. But more importantly, probably everything going on at Ascension Point and Dangling Dogging Rock. So these 2 points, which again we can see on the map, the top right, Fort Cordon is Ascension Point. Fort Cordon was essentially a psychiatric prison for children at some point in the past. And it has a big cistern underneath, which obviously was meant to hold water for a fire, but people suggest that that cistern was instead used for experiments and stuff like that. The nearby Dangling Rock is a place where lots of kids go to drink and, you know, bang it out. And Ruth also visits at night. Caleb has been there at some point, I believe. And it's also meant to be a very spiritual place that is seemingly leads to another world. In terms of the people involved, both Ruth and Colton have an aversion to the college lifestyle that's kind of overtaken the town and the disrespect that the college kids are showing, stuff like that. And Caleb, frankly, doesn't have a bloody clue what on earth is going on. I think that is the major stuff. Oh, worth mentioning, the niece of Colton who died at the party had a long-term friend who talked about her in the newspaper afterwards, and that friend was called Mark Thomas, and one of the people who died in the recent attacks was called Emily Thomas. There's also a festival. We've known about the festival for a long time, but we still don't know what the festival is about. We just know there is a festival. I'm pretty sure that's why the kids were here in the first place. There's also an electrical storm the day of the murder. And there's still one more suspect. Jerry's not a goddamn suspect. Leave Jerry alone. Colby also went to Ruth's shop and recognizes the name. Oh, we forgot about Natalie. Okay, there's a whole bunch of other stuff here about Natalie and stuff like that we didn't get into. So the other link we have, so the house, i.e. this house, is owned by Alana Morgan's family. Alana being one of the girls who died in the attack. Okay. Now, Alana's grandparents lived in the area. They bought a little piece of land here from Ruth's parents or something like that, right? Ruth's forebearers. Most of the land got sold to Natalie's family, who were called... I don't remember what Natalie's family were called. Bergstroms. Most of the land got sold to the Bergstroms. So the Bergstroms own most of the land in the area, with the Morgans and the Ruths. What's Ruth called again? Forsbrands owning a little bit each. So Ruth might have a little bit of anger there as well about losing her family's land. However, when the family did live back here, or when they were here, so Alana Morgan's dad and mum broke up at some point. Her dad started seeing someone called Claire. And during all that time, the dad... Do I have a name for the dad? Where's my little family tree I made? Oh, there it is. Craig is the dad. Has been seeing another girl called Natalie Bergstrom, who has been referred to as a hussy. So the Bergstrom's daughter, or granddaughter, has been hooking up with one of the Morgans. I can't imagine Ruth would be that happy about that. And yeah, that's why I started going to Natalie in the first place, because Colby mentioned that the name Natalie was familiar to him. He also mentioned that the name Heather was familiar to him, and as it happens, Heather was the one who survived. So I think we'll be learning about that soon. Also relevant that Colton has several tattoos, one of them in memory of his niece, one of them is an eagle or something, and he doesn't really like showing them off. It says it reminds him of his past and keeps him on the right track. We also have some hint of an explosion at the house. There was fire damage, but doesn't seem to be how people were killed, and the fire seems to have been put out, again, by somebody, assumedly, in the house. Also, some very slight differentiation in the reports between Ruth and Colton, in that, well, Ruth was told that she rang the police station at 9:22 a.m, and Colton says he got the call at 9:15. Right. No, the eagle's not the memory of his niece. The raven is the memory of his niece, because she loved raisins. Ravens? Raisins? She loved ravens, basically. Right. Well, we've made a lot of progress tonight. That's so Raven. Oh, you didn't die, no. We've still got 2 whole suspects to look at. We don't even know who the 5th suspect's going to be. I suspected Heather was going to be the 4th, but at this point in time, who's going to be the 5th? Who is going to be the 5th? Not Jerry. I don't know who the 5th is going to be. It's interesting. Anyways, we're going to end this here. So if you've been joining me on YouTube, thank you very much for hopping along tonight for this part of the playthrough. Of course, we'll be back in the next couple of days or whatever. And we will, if not finish it, get a lot closer. We're barely over halfway. I think we're 3/5 of the way through, so we'll have to see how we do. Alright, and we'll just end this